Okay, so we're going to record this. So we're going to go ahead and start and put this up online so you guys can go and access this. I'll put this on GroupMe so again we can all access it. I'll email you a link out. Oh, if you cannot hear me. Okay, we've got a couple of them can't hear. Okay, well, I'm hoping everyone can hear me. All right.
They might need to call.
Yeah. Okay. And the numbers. All right. So if you guys can't, can anyone still hear me? I guess everyone working good. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I kind of want to first start. We're going to go through a lot of really important stuff today. Kind of going through how to pay for your online stuff, how to get access to it. We have both Phil and Sheila on the line. Sheila's going to take over me here in a second. So again, Sheila's the course coordinator on the Alcentra side. She's going to kind of take you through all of their stuff, how to access Blackboard, which is the UTD's equivalent of e-learning. So it's the same program, but it's just going to be through Alcentra instead of UTD. And then Phil's going to be one of the lead instructors. He's awesome, and you guys will get to meet Phil very soon if you have not already. I first off want to start and saying that the first lab day is going to be on the 29th. It's not going to be the 27th. That's going to be a holiday. So it's going to be the 29th is our first lab day. So please make sure that you guys have that marked down. Remember, lab days are not going to be optional. We have to come to lab days. And so make sure you have that jotted down. It's going to be in Green Hall, 2.523, I believe. 2.530. It's in the email that I sent you guys. So if you guys don't have access to that email, please make sure that you reach out to me because that means you're not on my list. You guys didn't fill out that link that I sent you guys. So please make sure if you guys have not received that email to let me know so you guys can get all that good information. So yes, first lab day is the 29th. I'm not expecting you guys to come in uniform that first day. However, I would prefer you guys did come the second lab day, which I don't have the date off the top of my head, but that is when the uniform is going to be required. So if you guys have questions about the uniform, you're not sure if this is exactly what to wear. To answer the question, you'll get the EMS shirt either the first or second lab day, whenever they come in. We're kind of waiting for them to come in from our vendor, so we're just kind of waiting on that. But as far as, so in the meantime, just wear any sort of polo shirt, black solid colored shirt is fine. It doesn't have to be EMS or anything related, just a professional sort of polo that you look good in. So make sure that I would recommend you guys wear that to the first day of class so we can kind of say, hey, these pants aren't in uniform at all. So when the second lab day comes, you're all good to go. So I would wear it the first day. You're going to have to get used to wearing EMT pants and everything like that. Everyone moans and complains about how unattractive they look. We don't really care. That's the uniform, so we got to wear it. Other than that, make sure you guys are – Sheila's going to go through all of the online stuff. Make sure you guys are fully aware and fully up to date and have completed everything by that first lab day. And Sheila will go over all that. But do you guys have any questions before we start? I'm just going through and scanning in all your stuff right now. I'm just scanning you guys your physical examination forms. I'm not scanning all your insurance information. I'm guessing you guys still have access to that. If you don't, let me know and I can scan that through to you. But I have about 100 pages otherwise. So I'm just going to scan through your physical exam forms back to you guys so you can upload them to Castle Branch. Does anyone have any questions before we start off with? Nope. All righty, Sheila. I'll let Sheila take it away.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to join us on this. Bill is on here as well, and Pebworth, you'll meet him as well, but he wasn't able to join us on the call today. So I want to take you through how to access everything. So I'm going to start off with Blackboard. So El Centro Blackboard, if you just go in and you just put in El Centro College, everybody able to see my screen. So when you just Google El Centro College, click El Centro, and then you should have your ID by now, because I sent y'all emails. If you don't have your El Centro ID, send me a email, and I will be happy to just send it to you. I have them all now, but I don't want to post them all to everybody where everybody has all of their ID. So if you want to send me a private email, I can fix that for you. So once you go to Blackboard, click here to access, and then it will lead you to, I'm already logged in, so it's going to not, oh goodness. Okay, that's the screen. Dadgummit, it went too fast. But anyway, you'll put in your email, and it's going to be an E with your 6 numbers at student.d.edu. And then you're going to need to create your password and everything, but all of that information is on that first page that I sent you. But once you get to it, you'll be able to go to, you'll see the UTD number 3 hybrid. And then once you click on that, that's going to take you to the announcements. And so I have already sent an email to you guys with all of this information, but here's the link to receive your or retrieve your ID. So I'll put that on there. You have to click through a little bit. It doesn't go straight to it. But this is the link to purchase the actual JBL, Jones Bartlett Learning Center package. So when you click on that, it's going to take you to this website, which shows that it's $178. So you can see they were charging $335. I chewed them down to this price. So you'll purchase that through this website. Just hit checkout, and once you do that, that is going to take you to this website where you can actually access this, and this is your course right here. So I'll get to this here in a second. I want to go back to the announcements, but I will give you that code on the 20th. So on Monday, you'll be given that code where you can access our actual course. As far as emails, if you need to reach, I've divided up the class. There's 26 of you fantastic people, and I've divided you up into advisors, or into a group where you have an advisor. So if your last name is between A and K, your advisor, lead professor, whatever you want to call him, is Phil Minshew, okay? And then anybody with a last name of L through Z, it's Michael Pebworth. Here's my email if you need to reach me as well. And if you have any questions about immunizations, saying that you have immunization that was rejected, or if you're not sure what you need requirements for, Gregory Winters, Dr. Winters, is I call it castle crap because it's a pain in the butt. I know it is. It's not that difficult to do as far as loading up your immunizations and things like that, but I just call it castle crap. We all have our wonderful names for it, but you can call it whatever you like. But this is our system, and it's brand new for us, so I'm learning it too. But I have personally uploaded all of my documents, and so I know the process works, and it wasn't that difficult. So, but if you do have any questions, please just email Dr. Winters directly, and you can copy me on it too, so I'm in the know. But he's the person that will approve or override any issues. We've already had a few of you contact us, and we've taken care of those. course policies and photo release. So you want to go to the course policies agreement and complete the photo release here. How you get to this document is in the where it says course info and documents. You're going to click here, and here's the actual policies. So if you want to read the policies before you sign it, you can click on here. And this has the policies, and we also have some policies that are strictly for our program with UEMR. But once you click on that, you'll click on here, and it says to type your name and date. So you're going to and 1719, click on that, and then hit submit. And that's going to document your policies. And then you'll do the same thing here. So we're trying not to kill trees. We're trying to save paper. But you need to do that for the course policies and the photo video release. Unless you're in the witness protection program or something somewhere, we really would like for everybody to be able to complete the photo release too, because we do take some really cool pictures of our group, and at the end of the class we'll make a class video that you can show your friends and family, and it's really nice. So that's one of the first assignments that you're going to need to complete. You can have that done anytime. I can monitor that, but if you'll please complete that. Here's a copy of the schedule. So when you look at this, you can see the class dates are here, the final exam. When you have clinical, you can tell you're not going to be in class whenever you're doing clinical. The only time y'all come to lab are these dates here. And the last class date is on July the 8th, which is after clinicals. This is when you're going to turn in all of your documents and everything. So if you notice, it says for each chapter, you must complete the lecture. This is an interactive lecture with a module quiz after each chapter. And it's strictly monitored and will be 20% of your grade. All assignments are due by 6 o'clock on the day of each class, which is your lab day. So your out of class assignments are 20%. Your in class quizzes, which you'll have 7, which means we have a quiz every class, and that's 30%. And then your final exam is worth 50%. So here you'll complete each one that has 1 star next to it. That's an out of class assignment. You have virtual ride-alongs, simulations, and things like that. And then you see the one where it has 2 stars on it. You can see that that is an in-class quiz, and that's worth 30%. So you have access to this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But each lab day is going to consist of doing scenarios and a quiz. The first lab day will be practicing your vital signs, doing some national registry skills and scenarios, and then we take a quiz. So, and then the next class day, we're doing scenarios and a quiz, scenarios and a quiz. So it's very interactive, but you need to know your stuff, and you've got to make sure that these assignments are complete before you come to class. Because if you show up to lab and we can tell you don't know what you're doing, and we're also monitoring, your instructors will be putting in grades, and we're not going to take, if you can't finish your assignments before it's due, then it's a 0, and you can't make those up. So you have to complete them. It's not like I'm making chapter 1 due on the first day, chapter 2 on the second day. You can knock as many of these out as you want. You could do the whole thing in a week if you wanted to. So we're not making it that rigid, but you do have a lot of flexibility, although the due dates will not fluctuate. Those are set. Towards the end here, you can see that there's not as many chapters, and that we do have some pre-tests and post-tests, and all of those will be counted for as far as your grades too. So there's the schedule there. I've got another, let's see, here's the Google Drive. You don't have access to this just yet, but I'll make it available here shortly. But these are, if you go to this link and then click on the class UTD, you can see where I've put the syllabus is right here. And then here's another little condensed. If you're kind of left-brained and you want to see everything at a glance, there's this here too. Okay. I'm trying to click around, just that's in the way. Go away. There we go. Okay. Here's the link to Castle Branch. If you are absent or expected to be late for class, you must let us know. In the case of an emergency, here are your instructor's phone numbers. Please, please, please know that we do not work 24/7, although sometimes we feel like we do. The way you guys need to contact and have communication with your instructor, it's going to be through email. If you need to contact them and you want to have a phone discussion with them, which sometimes it's easier to do that, send them an email and say, hey, can we make an appointment to have a phone call? And we are very happy to do that. But your first form of communication with your instructors is going to be through email. You're only going to call them, one, if you have an appointment, or two, if this is an emergency. And normally an emergency is, if you're going to be late to class, we need to know. And y'all have to kind of keep in mind that this class is kind of like a job. It's your first experience into EMS for most of you. And it's just, you got to look at this as your job. If you are on time, you're late. If you're 15 minutes early, you're good. And if you're 5 minutes early, you're pushing it being late. So try to be early so we can start on time. So we need to get in the habit of doing that. Here's some study tools if you're wanting to take some practice tests and things like that. Limmer Creative is a great little tool. They even give us a 20% off code to use. FizDap is also a really good tool that you can use to study, and there's Pocket Prep. So here's some, if you're lacking study, as far as how to study, these are great little videos on how to do that too. Here's some test-taking strategies, course videos, autopsies, anything that you want to, we've got so many resources. So if you feel like you're lacking in a certain thing, then feel free to look up the resources here. FEMA modules, these are due on the very last day of class, July the 8th. Don't wait until July 8th because you have to complete this. It's several hours of coursework, and this is a course requirement from the state. And so you'll be receiving certificates, but it takes 2 or 3 days for those certificates to be emailed to you. So I would urge you guys, before the class starts, go ahead and knock this out if you have the time. And all of this other information will be available as I send you the email when we start talking about your hospital clinicals. You'll be doing your clinicals at Baylor Hospital in the ER, and you'll also be riding out with Dallas Fire. And so that is all of the Blackboard for the most part. So look at the announcements. And when we come to class, these are the quizzes that you'll be taking. So all of these. As far as the course policies go, everybody takes the final exam. If your quiz average is below a 74, I think 75 is the line. So if you're 75 and above, you have to make a 75 on the final to pass, and your course average has to be a 75. So let's say you have a course average of 75, but you make a 73 on the final. Well, you are eligible to do a retest. So you can take a retest, but you have to make an 80 on that retest. Okay, so that's one example. Let's say you make a 60 on the final and your course average is a 60. You fail the course and you're not eligible for a retest. So you're only eligible for a retest if your course average is a 75 or higher. Okay, so that's the only way you're going to be eligible for a retest. You only get to take these quizzes once. And remember, they're 30% of your grade. You can always check your grades. So there's a place here to check your grades. And that is pretty much all of Blackboard. So let's go into the Jones and Bartlett. So when you click on launch, you're going to see, let me see if I can preview as a student so you can see what you see. There's these virtual ride-alongs that are really cool. It shows the call from beginning to end, from dispatch all the way, and you're going to be required to watch all of these things. They're actually pretty interesting. And then there's simulations. On the simulations, you actually have to click, and so it's very interactive. You can take a blood pressure, but everything is through here, and it will report your grade. So once you get your grade, you'll see your grade here. And then Phil and Pebworth are going to take your grades and put them in a grade book that I have put together. So you won't see these grades on Blackboard. Your grades will stay here, and I've built a grade book for them to transfer the grades into, and then you'll get a module grade, so you can kind of keep track of what your average is currently. So here's the EMS system here. Here's all your objectives. There's an ebook, and you can actually highlight, make notes, all of that in your ebook. I highly recommend that you read this. It has very good information in it. And then this is the lecture. So it's very, like I said, it's very interactive. I don't know how quick this is going to load.
Welcome to the EMS
there you go.
Module.
So it will go through all of the things
The
here.
Emergency Medical Services System consists of a team of healthcare professionals who are...
And then at the end, there will be a quiz. Okay, there's questions throughout it as well. So you'll do one of those for each chapter. And let me go back to 8, sure. Okay. Oh my goodness, what is it doing? Hold on. Stand by. Go back to this one. There's also the PowerPoints. So if you feel like you're missing something, or if you need more information on something, then you can actually go back and look at the PowerPoints. And there's 2 different PowerPoints. You can look at the comprehensive PowerPoint, or you can look at a focused PowerPoint. So it's got 2 different kinds here. There's flashcards that you can use. And if you don't have time to actually read the book and you want to listen to the book, you've got an audio. This might put you to sleep. So don't listen to it in bed. And then there's outlines here and case studies. So each chapter has all of this information. So remember, the only thing that we are grading is that interactive lecture right here that has the quiz at the end of it. Okay. So this is pretty much all of JVL. So this is your learning management system. Now let's talk about Castle Crap. If you're having a hard time uploading, there's some videos here. All I did was how to upload files to Castle Crap. So you just click on some of these videos and it can walk you right through how to upload some of these things if you're having a hard time. You do have to upload. So if you've got 6 immunizations on one document, you're going to have to upload that one document 6 times because each immunization is separate. So it may just be as easy as uploading the same document 6 times, because that's kind of what I had to do. Let's see. Other little assignments that you'll have along the way are 100 vital signs. So there is this sheet right here where you're going to be taking 100 different, or the same, it doesn't matter. Actually, it's 99 vital signs, but we will be starting this on the first lab day. We'll go over this and you'll have time to practice this, but I would urge you to, you need your own blood pressure cuff. you need your stethoscope, and we do have some blood pressure cuffs in the classroom. But I would urge you to just go ahead and buy one. They're not too expensive, and you can start practicing with those at home and on your family. You could probably charge them like $2 or something. So there's that. We're going to go over all these clinical things later when we take the final exam, but you've already got all of the documents here. Here's some resources that you can look through. There's home medications. Here's some guidelines here that you can look at. Quiz prep. So if you're wanting to know how to study for the quizzes, you want to click on this one. So this is quiz number 1. This is your in-class quiz that you'll be, and all of our in-class quizzes are taken on the computer. And we're looking at right now to reserve the computer lab. So, but if not, we will send everybody an email saying, make sure you bring your laptop. So we'll keep y'all in the loop on that. But it's the first chapter quiz in class is going to be over chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 10, and 15. And now that I'm looking at this, don't pay attention to the chapter numbers because I forgot we switched books, and I'll correct this. The topics are what it's going to be over: anatomy and physiology, little patho, airway, big time on airway, and then the shock and resuscitation. So if you notice, the first chapter in class doesn't really have anything over medical, legal, wellness, and anything like that. It's going to be over these chapters right here: medical terminology, human body, airway management, and resuscitation. Other than that, let me see if there's any other things that I've covered everything on my agenda. So what questions do you guys have, or did I miss anything, Scott?
No, I don't think so. Guys, there's a lot of information, and we're not expecting you guys to get this down immediately. There's going to be a bunch of resources for you guys to reach out to and have questions. And I want to kind of stress that right now. We have all the instructors with us intro. You have Sheila, you have me. There's a bunch of people that can help you with all these questions. You guys won't get any access. You please go ahead and purchase the online stuff with JBL, Jones and Bartlett. That'll give you access to that. Please like what Sheila's showing right now. Please purchase that. And then once we guys give you the code, you guys will have access to it. Go around and look at it. The information is there's gonna be a lot of information. So please make sure you go through it, get really familiar with it. The Google Drive. Okay, we've got a couple of questions. Where's Google Link? Okay, so Crystal, you'll get all that stuff pretty soon. We'll give you guys all that, and you'll have access to that Google link, which will be on the course Blackboard. And then how do you get your password for Blackboard? Sheila, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so I am resending this announcement to everybody right now. And that way you've got everybody's in Blackboard right now, because I know that, and I've got everybody's ID number, but I just sent you a link. I sent this again. So to retrieve your Blackboard ID, it is in this right here. What's my user ID? So that's how you get to that. So again, you click on retrieve my ID, and then go to future student, and then what's my user ID? And then it needs your last name, social security, something like that. And then you can reset your password, log in. So it's got that, but you're going to need to reset your password. If you do have problems logging in to Blackboard, I am not the one that you need to call, because I am not the help. I am not the help desk. But when you go to eCampus, it says technical support, student technical assistant. Call them. They are really helpful. And they can, and if you read through some of these instructions on how to log in, some of it's just as easy as you're not putting an E in the 6 numbers here, or you're not doing at student.dccd.edu. So some of it's as easy as fixing that. But the help desk is really pretty helpful about logging in on Blackboard.
And you guys should have held.
But that's how you get a
Correct.
And then I'm going to resend the schedule to you here. So everybody should be getting emails. If you're not getting emails, then let me know, because that's an issue, and we'll try to fix that. But everybody should be getting these emails that I'm sending right now. I'll send the Google Drive for you guys right now too, so you'll have that. There's also on this Google Drive, so these are our old PowerPoints. I hate to say, but they're old, but they're PowerPoints that we use with our current class at El Centro, because you can see we're using a different book. I'm actually switching to the same book that y'all are using in the fall. But there's these PowerPoints. There's even old PowerPoints. These actually have better pictures in them. But I would review these old PowerPoints too. There's just a lot of information. Here's some practice tests here. So you've got a lot of stuff, a lot of resources. We don't want you to be, it's better to have too many resources than not enough.
And just to emphasize, guys, the Jones and Bartlett, that's what's the will be taken for a grade. So the Google Drive is just it's information for you. But the Jones and Bartlett, that'll be what we're actually going to be taking a grade for. So if you guys have questions on what gets taken for a grade, how to access that, how to complete the assignment, please reach out to one of us and we'll be able to answer that for you. On Monday, when you guys get access to the course, again, look at your syllabus. There's a lot of stuff on Monday that'll start out, and there's a lot of stuff to get done before the first lab day. So don't wait until the day of the lab to start all of it, because I guarantee you won't be able to do it. I'll have office hours at UTD that if you guys have questions about stuff, you guys can come and talk to me. And then the El Centro instructors are definitely going to be available for help as well. So again, a lot of resources, a lot of help for you guys. But if you guys have questions, you got to come ask us. We don't know what you don't understand. So make sure you guys are coming reaching out to us. The quizzes we do are through Blackboard. And the in-class quizzes are through Blackboard, correct?
Yes. I'm reading the chats. All of the quizzes the on-campus quizzes are going to be through Blackboard. So make sure you can access Blackboard. If you're not able, let's see, it says you're not able to retrieve your ID. If you can't get your ID, send me an email and I will email it to you. I don't want to read your ID over this. So if you'll send me an email, I can get you your ID. I would get a stethoscope, a blood pressure cuff, and trauma shears will be good whenever you start clinicals, because we like to cut people's clothes off. So that will be good to use during clinicals. But for right now, stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff. And Amazon's great to do that through. Littman is probably one of the better stethoscopes, but don't go spending $130 on a stethoscope. The cheaper ones are just as good. Any other questions? I know it's a lot of information, but like Scott said, I highly encourage you guys to familiarize yourself with Blackboard and the JBL. You've got all next week to start doing all of these assignments. Phil and Michael Pebborn, I call him Pebby. Y'all will have your own nicknames for them. But, Pebby and Phil, they are going to be there on that first day of class, and we really need to hit the ground running with checking your blood pressures, seeing how y'all are doing on those, and then starting your national registry skills, putting oxygen, the tank together, talking about, and mainly just running scenarios through and seeing how patients, how we treat patients through your patient assessment. And you know, we're going to give you medical emergencies. One of the things I would highly recommend you guys as far as studying goes, make flashcards, and you're going to want to put your medical emergency. So let's say croup. And so you'll write croup on one side of the card, and then on the back side, you're going to write your signs and symptoms. So for croup, that's normally a upper respiratory issue. You also, it's inflammation of the airway. It can be a virus, but it's more involving with children. And then the big red flag on this is seal-like bark, where they go, ee, ee. So they have that sound. And so those are your signs and symptoms that you want to recognize for croup. And so you put that on the card, and then you do your next medical emergency, like COPD, CHF, and you have a card for every medical emergency, and you just write the big red flags. So whenever you take our tests, they're all scenario-based. So we're going to give you a patient. It's going to have all these signs and symptoms, and you're going to need to be able to determine, what does this patient have? And that's pretty much how our tests go. On the airway test, it's a lot more on, is this patient breathing adequately or inadequately? Do we need to breathe for them? Do they need oxygen? And what kind of oxygen do they need? Do they need a non-rebreather, a nasal cannula, or are they not getting any air at all and we need to breathe for them through a BVM? So y'all will be learning about all of this stuff online, but when you come to lab, it is hands-on and doing and reinforcement. So I think y'all will have a lot of fun with this, and it will definitely make you guys better clinicians as you go through your medical careers. What exactly do we need to get done on Blackboard before we step into class, or is that on the Google Doc? So Crystal, everything that's going to be online is, like, all of your assignments are going to be on JVL. So it's all going to be right here. And the things that are due on that first day, if you look at the schedule, which will be right here, I would look at the syllabus because it's got a lot more detail. You need to do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And that's, you know, that's just called your prep. So that is all open May 20th. By the May 29th at 6 o'clock, when we have our class, you need to have all of these chapters due, as well as the respiratory distress, the difficulty breathing, the respiratory distress. And then you also need to print out your National Registry skill sheet.
Yeah, we'll do that for them.
Okay. Oh, okay, you're going to print those out? Okay, so disregard that. But all of these, I may adjust this a little bit because it looks like it's maybe a little confusing, but you need to do the chapter quizzes for all of these, including this. All of this is due that first lab day. Okay, and then this is what we will be doing during that lab day. And then on module 2, you need to do all of these assignments. So it's everything. It looks like a lot, but these are really only 3-4 minutes long. They're not very long chapters. And the simulations are 4 or 5.
Reminder, guys, that the only things that they're due on those things is the lecture and then the chapter quiz. So on each chapter, so that that should give you guys a pretty good outline on what to do. I will be having, I'll send out an email about this, but before your first lab day. So if you guys have questions about that and you're around UTD, I'll be having probably office hours or something like that before the first lab day. I'll give you guys an email about that. So if you guys have questions or something like that, I don't want you guys to wait to the first lab day to have a question about something and not get it answered. So and we'll go over that. All the stuff that you guys are going to buy, we can send out an email about that as well. Sheila and the instructors will go over that more probably on the first day of class as well, but we'll send out an email about stuff to buy as far as stethoscopes and blood pressure cuffs as well, since I know that wasn't mentioned previously.
And we do have equipment that we'll have in class, but it's just going to be good for y'all to practice it. And if you want to holler at us, you're welcome to, I know we've got equipment at El Centro, we've got equipment at UTD, but if you're wanting to practice with the equipment, we could probably arrange for that. But I'm just thinking offhand that it's probably going to be a little easier to have that on your own.
Does anyone have any questions before we go?
As far as do we need the stethoscope before the first day for practicing, I would recommend that y'all are doing your blood pressure practices before you come to that first day, if possible, just so you're practicing with it. Because you can see here on the first day of class, we're going to be doing vital signs on each other, but I've only put that for a half hour. And anytime y'all want to come early, we'll have everything set up early. And I'm talking like maybe 45 minutes early or so. Most of our instructors get there early. Any questions? Are y'all excited? I see a lot of head nodding. Okay. Y'all will really enjoy Pebworth and Phil. They both have a lot of experience working on the ambulance. Phil is a retired fireman, paramedic from Dallas Fire. And Pebworth has worked everywhere and taught everywhere. So I'm also a paramedic. So you've got 3 paramedics that will love to impart all the knowledge that we have to you guys. Oh, good. Todd's excited. So class will be a lot of fun. We make a lot of jokes, but we know when to make it serious too. But I know I've met several of you guys already, and we're really looking forward to getting to know you guys better. Oh my, what was that? Somebody drew on the screen. Was that you, Scott?
Alrighty, guys.
I don't know what that was.
Again, reach out to any of us if you have questions. Please don't sit there with a question and have it unanswered. I'll send out an email with the link to this recording and then some reminders for the first day of class, so we're all on the same page. If you guys have no further questions, then I'm sorry this is a lot of information, guys, but we're trying to get everyone through it and started. So let us know if you guys have questions, and other than that, we will see you guys the first day of class.
Y'all let us know if we can help you at all. We're all available by email, and if you need to talk to us on the phone, just shoot us an email and we'll set something up.
Cool. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.